I thought this story was a joke. I thought this was like an Onion article where I was like, is this serious? And my language was much more terse. Do we have a real problem in the Canadian jailing system, or in the specifically Ontario's jailing system, with transgendered people going to the wrong
Let's
side
be
of
very
things?
clear, there are exactly 25 transgenders in the entire Ontario penal institution. My biggest issue with this policy is the fact that it is determined by you. So hi, male rapist. Hello. Oh, you feel like a woman and you want to bunk up with some ladies and watch them go to the bathroom and shower with them? No problem, because we care about you. It's a fair and balanced policy.
Does their genitalia not count?
It doesn't. Their genitalia does not count. If they want to have prosthetics, they can still bring those in. Let's be very clear. I had a pen pal in prison. I couldn't send him a rosary because that was seen as a threat. But prosthetics are very cool.
Well, that's an interesting story. I'd like to delve into that. I had pen pals too, but I wasn't pals with them. They wanted to send me stuff.
I was evangelizing, okay?
Yeah, I don't see this as a huge issue here. This is
why it was a major announcement yesterday with Glenn Murray and Barbara Hall of the Human Rights Tribe. I mean,
well, it's not. This is about protecting people regardless of sexual orientation, and anything you can do.
You are not protecting the other 99.999% of the
anything that you can do
right?
to make the prison environment safer for everyone is a positive step
how
forward.
okay, so let's say you've got a male who's decided he wants to be a female or identifies with being a female. What rights do the female population have? Because they might be saying, I'm not cool with this at all.
Several of which might have been abused themselves, by the way, prior to entering
I mean, you're going to infringe on someone's rights.
Sure. I mean, I think the purpose of this policy is to make sure that you're protecting all of the inmates who are in prison, and that people all have the right to as much protection as possible in the environment. So I'm not sure
right for transgenders. This is progressive political correctness run amok. You cannot say that 25 people are going to outweigh the rights of everyone else.
Well,
and you cannot tell me there has been zero thought put into this. There's no, hey, a psychiatric evaluation says that, yeah, you do have gender identity disorder. Yeah, you know what? You can go stay with the ladies.
And and by the way, on the other side of things,
disorder,
so a female identifies more with a male, how safe are they going to be going into male population?
Yeah.
I mean, at what point would they want to go into the male population?
Yeah, let's be clear. This is not gender identity disorder. This is a real medical thing that
not according to this.
is now being addressed.
Like
no, that is now being addressed in Ontario's prisons.
It's self-identified gender. Those are Kathleen Wynne and Murray's words.
Let's be clear here.
It's not a doctor.
Allowing people to self-identify does not put other people at risk. This isn't about
it does if the self-identifier is a rapist.
I think you will find risks, because I think a female turned male going into a male population, they wouldn't survive 5 minutes.
Yeah,
they wouldn't, and even if that's where they feel most comfortable, they just wouldn't.
We're talking about a lot of hypotheticals, but in the hypothetical that you're talking about,
the whole thing is a hypothetical.
Nobody's going to choose to put themselves in a situation that's dangerous. The whole point of this legislation is
to put others in a situation that's dangerous.
The purpose of the situation is to help facilitate better safety, not to have people choose to put themselves in less dangerous situations.
And you can't even build a separate room for them. I mean, next things we're going to be doing is outfitting jails with transgender neutral bathrooms. I mean, look, there's not enough of them in the population for this demand.
As currently constituted, people who are transgendered are generally kept alone. I think the purpose here, is to have integration into the prison population in a safe way.
Well, so I just look at it. Someone's rights are going to be infringed upon. Either the general population, female and or male. Someone's going to be irritated by this.
There was a convicted a rapist from Montreal who used this very law, by the way, that was in question and now has been upheld, called Toby's Law here in Ontario. Convicted rapist from Montreal comes into Ontario, stays in Toronto shelters, saying that he self-identifies as a woman and goes on to sexually assault two women who had previously been assaulted, and that was part of the reason why they were in that shelter. That should be a safe space in the very beginning, okay? There are a lot of women that are very hurt and fragile within our penal institution. And what are we going to do? We're going to say, hey, guess what, all you perps? If you feel like you're a woman today, go on in.
Well,
women,
you know what?
You're kind of second class
I'm sorry, but it's not okay to conflate everyone who's transgendered with someone who sexually assaults other people. That's not okay.
But tell me something in this policy that stops the weirdos, that stops the rapists from taking advantage of this. It's supposed to help.
There are already current laws and rules that attempt to stop that.
This one just self-identifies.